Bad Views, the podcast that asks if great beer makes bad movies any better. I'm your host, who is very, very upset about the fate of a tiger in this movie, Max Nestorowicz. And as always, joined by my two prisoners of the CIA old folks home / co-hosts, James Thorpe.
Hello.
And Ryan Everett.
Sign me up for that retirement. I'm fine with that.
And joining us from the other side of Lake Michigan, it is one and only Steve Cuff. Hello, Steve.
Steven.
That's right. The inferior side, I might add, unfortunately.
right. Well,
But
you heard it here
I'm
first,
here.
folks.
I'm here, boys.
Can't argue with science.
That would be the New Baltimore Beach side of Lake Michigan.
It is. It's funny because I mean, if you go to the Michigan side, it's all these like, I don't know. It's interesting topography, and you get dunes and like little cliffs and shit. And here it's just like, hey, what if someone dumped a bag of gravel in some dirty water?
We've seen Lake
Walking to
Michigan
Milwaukee,
Monster. We know it's
baby.
there.
Yep.
Great.
But today on Good Brews, Bad Views, we are watching Double Team, starring 1, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and 2, Dennis Rodman. Ryan, you know how to pronounce the director's last name, so please say what the director's last name
Oh, I
is.
learned it from you. I learned it from Steve and his buddies on Optimism Vaccine, but it is Tsui Hark.
Yeah,
More
that's
or
right.
less.
Shameless plug, by the way.
Yeah.
We did an entire mini-series on Tsui Hark, so make sure you listen to that. But you nailed it. Tsui Hark.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
Was it, since you also were on for Sister Act 2 Back in the Habit, did you have more fun doing your Whoopi Goldberg miniseries or your Troy Hawk miniseries?
It's a tough question. It's one that's been asked to me many times. And I think at the end of the day, while I respect Whoopi, I have to say Tsui Hark was a little more enjoyable for me.
That seems probable.
How this podcast is going to work is we'll be watching Double Team today. We'll be drinking some beer alongside of it, and we were recording a commentary track where we talk about what we like, what we don't like, the capital C choices this movie makes, and hopefully just having a good time over the next 92 minutes.
I believe you mean the capital Troy Hawk choices.
Oh, yes. Thank you, James.
Off to a great start.
The podcast is designed to be listened to alongside watching the film, but in the event that you're just here for the audio experience, we'll be doing our best to narrate what is happening on screen as you go about your day doing whatever it is when you're not watching 1990s Jean-Claude Van Damme films. Ryan, why don't you tell the folks at home where they can tune their sets?
Sure. But before we do, just a quick reminder, if you don't have the time or the patience to listen to the four of us yammer on like idiots for the next 90 minutes, please check this episode's description for the timestamp you can jump to catch our wrap-up thoughts on the film, on the beer, and just how things are going with Steve. What's Steve's life like lately? Who knows? But if you are going to watch along with us today, we are watching on Netflix. We are 19 seconds in. The Columbia Pictures logo has just started to fade from screen. So if you're going to watch along with us, plus pray now.
Press play. Yeah.
Yeah, we're already tongue-tied.
The prey has been blessed.
The prey has been blessed. Oh my God, it's gonna be great, you guys. Best recording ever. I can feel it already.
So this is the movie that I thought I had imagined for the longest time.
Is this the tiger you're sad about?
No,
Okay.
I'm cool with that tiger. The Mandalay tiger's cool. Because I remember that Dennis Rodman was in a 90s action film opposite a traditional action star. But then when we watched Demolition Man, I'm like, wait, was that the vibrant hair color that I was thinking of?
Max was like, wait, am I a racist?
Yeah. But no, not.
Max confused this movie with Baps.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. This is for anyone who doesn't know, Tsui Hark is a Hong Kong filmmaker, and Double Team is one of 2 American movies that he made. The other one being Knockoff, which stars another master thespian. Obviously, we're talking Dennis Rodman here. But does anyone know who that is by any chance?
Hit us with it, Steve.
It's our favorite anti-vaxxer, Rob Schneider.
Oh, boy.
Christ. Deuce Bigelow himself.
Yeah.
So this guy's ADR
Oh God, yeah.
worse than everyone else, and that's
worse. Terrible ADR.
The CIA map room back there cracks me up because it is maps of all different places in the world at all different random scales. Like there's like a Dungeons and Dragons like locations map of Marseille, and then just a map that is just black and white with no detail on it, with just filled in Japan.
Yep. And now we've seen that Jean-Claude Van Damme has stolen what I imagine is a military vehicle designed by a 9-year-old or available as a special tie-in through Micro Machines.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. It's like a Mack truck, but just covered in armor plating. Everyone's on fire.
Yeah, dudes
Motorcycles
sliding
are on
around.
fire. People are getting dragged all over the place. And this is how you open a movie, folks.
Yeah,
if
very
you want to make
energetic.
a great film, what does this opening have to do with the rest of the movie? And I can assure you the answer is very, very little. It's kind of like one of those James Bond openings, you know?
Yeah.
But it doesn't meaningfully tie into the rest of the film. It's just great. Shit blows up. This is what we need in our lives.
You can't make a few people can make action movies like the Hong Kong directors.
True that.
I'm very confused on the physics of that tank shot.
Yep. As a man who knows a thing or two about tanks.
I don't understand how that one worked.
So, yeah, this big chase. It's been blown apart lately.
This is totally a sequence that like a 9-year-old would come up with. It's like, and then he drives it through the the wall.
I'd
and
have
then
this
the-
all staged in miniature form in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
My blanket off my bed would be the mountains.
Well, and if you're going to give like a blanket description of what it looked like in the late 80s and throughout the 90s when these Hong Kong action directors would, make their films in America, take any direct-to-video action film you've ever seen from the era, double the budget, and just make it look a little bit better, and that's what you have. So it's got all the bravado, the stupidity, the violence and explosions of cheap action crap, with just a little bit more style and a little bit more money behind it, which is why you have an absurd tank just running through a train right now.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
It's glorious,
with
though.
French
Absurd
plates.
French tank.
Yeah.
It's pronounced tonk.
Yeah. Ton 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 ton.
Ton, 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 ton.
And still in France.
All right.
Yep. South of France, 3 years later.
3 years
Yeah.
later.
This is where we get to see the sexy and sensitive side of Jean-Claude.
Yes.
So a shoulder shot of presumably his wife. It's got a blue butterfly tattoo on her shoulder.
Who?
Yeah.
Did she?
And like most of us who enjoy doing sculpting outside, you just tend to fall asleep next to masses of clay.
I was supposed to say she like passed out, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
So it's a sculpture that's supposed to look like a cow. Oh, he gets pushed into the pool.
Yeah.
They're so playful.
So like their big marital issue is Jean-Claude Van Damme hates folk art, which I can respect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now they've giggled each other into the pool.
Yep. And
Ooh.
Jean-Claude Van Damme's wife, Catherine, is very pregnant.
Oh yeah, super super pregnant.
Yeah. It's a little late to ask if you still want that baby.
Yeah.
An awful lot of shit to have stepped in, buddy.
This guy.
Boy, he's about to step into a bigger pile.
This guy looks like just 80s man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just 80s guy.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who plays Troy McClure? Jingle All the Way.
Phil Hartman?
Phil Hartman?
Phil Hartman.
Hartman?
He looks like. He looks like Phil Hartman's stunt double.
Like a cross between Phil Hartman and Paul Reiser.
Yes. Yes, that's what it is.
This guy's speech is awful.
Yeah.
He's giving the like, "You're a real man, Jack.
Yeah, be a man.
Yep.
You gotta
So-
come in and kill."
Steve, this is a
terrorists."
joke for you. When I first saw that the villain in this movie is named Stavros, all I could think of was Stabby Baby.
Oh yeah.
And the idea of that being JCVD's counterpart in this movie is just hilarious to me.
I don't know. I mean, if Mickey Rourke's life took a different path, he would look like Stabby from Cumtown. So I mean, it's entirely possible. It's just an alternate universe.
Yeah.
What, for this Halloween, Steve, you should cosplay as Rourke's character, and you could be Steve Rose.
Yep.
You know, it wouldn't be hard. We have similar builds, I think. Similar mass.
Yeah, obviously.
I would like to point out as well that Jean-Claude's character is named Jack, full name Jack Quinn, which kind of sounds like Jackin.
It does kind of sound like
Yeah.
So over on our end for the beer, because we are drinking it very, very quickly because it is very, very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a selection of beers from Ferndale Project that we'll be going through the next 90 minutes. This first one is an Imperial Sour with cherry, vanilla wafers, cake batter, vanilla frosting, and milk sugar, just titled Cherry Funfetti Cake. And it is very, very tasty.
And it tastes like cherry funfetti cake.
Yeah, this is legitimately sorcery.
And it was
What
canned
the hell?
on the 2 day.
Oh, it's a Tuesday beer.
The Tuesday beer.
Yes, this was a secret drop that they had, which was just like on Tuesday morning they were like, surprise
Yeah,
funfetti cake beer. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we know what we're drinking on Thursday.
You guys would be a little disgusted if you knew how many secret drops I had while we were recording this show. Poop jokes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So CIA man was just blown up in a car, and now we've cut to what every middle American thinks Europe was like in the 90s.
Yep.
Antwerp.
Oh yeah, you got Der Funky Beats playing in the background. You got
Leather daddies.
leather daddies left and right. It's a fetish club with a fish tank in it. Everything you need.
Yep.
Now I have a running theory for this film, which I will say I love deeply. But my thoughts on the movie are, Tsui Hark had an idea for a movie. They're like, okay, we're going to get Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then Yaz, the character played by Dennis Rodman, was shoehorned in later. And they just kind of wrote in some Dennis Rodman notes.
Yeah.
And I want to see if you guys have the same reaction to him just being completely bolted onto this film.
Right.
Yeah, he does not fit with the rest of this movie.
Yeah, he's ancillary.
Yes.
There is no reason for him to need to be part of this movie at all.
He's Yazless.
Ah!
I mean, I do believe that this is just like Dennis Rodman's like house and garage that they're filming this in.
No.
So he finds Yaz here getting his belly button pierced. I'm going to be honest. I love Rodman's look in most of this movie. It's so absurd.
Yeah. I mean, he did
he looks
once marry
fantastic.
himself.
Yeah, I mean, the truth of this is that Dennis Rodman just looked like this for much of the 90s.
Right.
Yep.
There's no wardrobe department. This is pure Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. He's like, I'm bringing
Now,
my
as
own
we
wardrobe.
mentioned, his name is Yaz in this movie.
Yep.
Just Yaz. There's no first name, last name thing going. So I was wondering, do you guys have a favorite Yaz song? You know, the spin-off band from Depeche Mode?
Christ.
There's only one acceptable answer. It's Situation. If you meet someone, they say Situation isn't their favorite Yaz song, you tell them to fuck off.
Push him off a bridge.
I like how they said that Jack Quinn is from Dallas, Texas.
Really?
I like how it says Jean-Claude Van Damme is 5'11". My
No,
ass.
no way.
Yeah.
No way is JCVD that tall.
I'd go to this club.
Yeah.
Guns.
There's Olga from frickin'
Dodgeball?
no, Zoolander.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Fighting game fans will see the obvious parallels between Yaz and Zack from Dead or Alive.
No, yeah.
What do you think Dennis Rodman's up to these days? He's not hanging out in North Korea anymore.
I'm going to ponder on that, but I'm also annoyed that those close-up shots of Rodman just then when he's firing a fully automatic weapon is just him sitting perfectly still, looking into the camera. They couldn't have just said, hey, Dennis, can you shake a little bit? Anything?
He's too big.
Yeah,
No.
Okay, sure.
This is the first of many outlandishly sized explosions in this movie.
Yeah. But just look how big he is next to JCVD.
His arms
awesome.
are the entire height of JCVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman is interesting to me as an actor because he certainly can't act, and he's physically large but has no presence.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just a lot of flavor floating around on screen.
I will say I think some of the reason that he has no presence is that this movie does not do a lot to show how big he actually is.
So
like in that scene, he's bent over the table.
yeah. So what you're saying is that Dennis Rodman is the fruit stripe of actors. The gum with like 5 seconds of flavor.
Yes.
It would be
Gets
me,
stale
sir.
pretty easy. Yeah, that
Yep.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
But that's almost, half the fun of this movie is seeing just how they shoehorn him into things and how he doesn't belong at any moment. You're just like, why is this character even here? And the answer is it probably wasn't in the first draft of the script, and then we just kind of added him in.
Right. I can't tell if JCVD's blazer is camouflage or just like plaid in a camo color scheme.
I want to go back and address the statement of he's like a snake. If you look him in the eyes, he'll get you in the back, which is
That's
not
right.
a phrase.
Yeah.
It also makes no sense.
And now they're
called
going
mixing
to
your
Duff
metaphors,
Gardens.
buddy.
Kitty.
All right, guys, we're gonna get this tiger real wet. You're gonna love it.
Welcome in Antwerp. We like to drink beer at our amusement parks. What did the 90s have about having shootouts in amusement parks?
Oh, they're pretty. They're
Because
just pretty.
you're still allowed to have fun in the 90s. And
True.
we hadn't had 9/11 yet.
True, yeah.
Which this is a movie that you can very much tell we did not have 9/11 yet.
True.
Yeah, this scene absolutely fucking rocks because love a good shootout in a location full of children.
Yep.
I love watching kids get blasted in slow motion. Love the aesthetic of a good circus/fair.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's happening right now is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like how no one in this like Spec Ops team is like, wait, yes, the fair, his ideal location for a drop.
Yeah. Yeah, the best place to bring a whole bunch of highly armed people is a public location with lights everywhere.
Yep.
They got boots on the ground though. They have people in costume, disguise.
Yeah. The Russian sniper looks like Brie Larson.
A little bit, yeah.
So
yeah, because as a left-handed person, I never grab anything with my right hand.
Particularly food.
Yes, when it's raining.
And this is where, Jean-Claude really proves his worth because he's able to identify that Stavros is a lefty, and that's how he knows that they've been set up with a decoy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've got a woman in a purple poncho.
Yeah.
She's hiding something.
She just gives birth right here and there.
Oh.
Right.
That's where babies come from.
Yeah.
Someone set us up the bomb.
So Stavros, Mickey Rourke's character, gives the little kid a kiss on the cheek. Nice little embrace here.
And it's already been established that they're not going to kill him. They're going to just trank him.
That's the thing that's very bizarre here. Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't give the order to trank him.
Yeah.
Just put his ass to sleep. Christ. And Sniper Wolf gets her scope shot out.
Yeah. After everyone apparently didn't notice that he was pulling out a gun and then aiming.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Also, like, top 5 dope ways to die, to get shot through a sniper scope.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's very enemy at the gates. Also, a moment ago, I just the unnecessarily comical whoosh sound when Stavros throws the grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I like the too late clown boy from the goon in the dog mask.
Yes. When he oosh-lawed the Granada.
Mm-hmm.
got it, ooshla.
You're either a Spec Ops adult or a goon in this amusement park. There's only options.
Yeah, this entire amusement park is just goons and Spec Ops guys and kids.
And a tiger.
Which really makes it irresponsible for any of them to have brought children with them.
Yeah.
The tiger shot her.
That's what that looked like.
That's what it did, because like it showed like the tiger like slash when she turns away and then she gets shot.
Yeah.
Like that tiger's got a gun.
Yeah.
The shot of the clown expiring is funny.
Yeah.
The highest of high tops from JCVD.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's not JCVD.
Steve Rose.
I'm Steve Rose.
And this like slow-mo
He's got bullet time.
bullet time vision, yeah.
Early bullet time. The cut, yeah, like the cutting gets very weird. Like I thought I was having a seizure.
It's cut like a light gun game.
Yeah. Comes out from around the corner.
It
Here we
would
had
be
the first of many shots of Coca-Cola.
Lots
Yes.
of Coca-Cola.
So many
in this
Coca-Cola.
movie.
And JCVD just kind of falls into karate. He slipped into a roundhouse kick right there.
Coca-Cola plays an extremely important role in this film.
Yep.
Kind of the unsung hero of Double Team.
Yep.
Oh, Stavros takes a shot to the arm, the right arm.
Mm-hmm.
After
With
he
like
watched
the most
his son-
90s sounding gun.
Yeah, his son get
Yeah.
killed.
Back when men were men and you could shoot a child dead in your movie.
Mm-hmm.
God. That did surprise me. I was like, oh, okay.
Yep. This BNR movie.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot.
I think that's the reaction that everybody has upon seeing this for the first time is they're like, oh, they like winged the kid, or oh, he got hit with a tranq dart. It's like, no, he's dead as hell.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one dead ass child.
Because there's not a lot to it, right? I mean, there's like one little tender moment there right before Stavros runs away, but they don't really
They don't linger
dwell
on
on it too much.
No,
Yeah.
yep.
And
Urgencies.
you get a little Batman silhouette there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody tells me nothing. Your work is at the hospital, I guess.
Yep. I mean, if you're gonna have a hospital gunfight scene, whatever. I mean, how are you gonna top Hard Boiled? You can't beat that scene, that sequence.
I just like the sequence there of him punching out all of the other glass. Just because.
Rourke hate glass.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like in video games, because you can shoot out all the windows, you will shoot out all the windows.
Or in Time Splitters when you had to throw bricks through all the windows.
Oh my fucking god. Sneak in. So, Jean-Claude Van Damme is on the hunt. Dark hospital.
And in case it's not abundantly clear, apparently Jean-Claude is the only man who can truly stop Stavros, and he knows him well.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his sandwich eating habits.
Also, another thing that's always cool in an action movie, dead body keeping an elevator from closing.
Oh, yeah.
Always cool.
Or any automatic door.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised Stavros doesn't try to curve the bullet.
And this is one of those scenes too where
There we go.
you know how do you separate a Hong Kong action film from an American action film, and what do they look like when there's kind of a hybrid of the two? And this whole scene in the maternity ward of the hospital is extremely like Hong Kong action cinema. You've got windows being shot out, you got the little slow motion bits, you have light pouring through
the
bullet
bullet
holes.
holes, yeah.
It's very dramatic and theatrical.
Yep.
With the villain
Monologuing
monologuing mid fight.
Hell
about
yeah.
tender moments of his life.
Yep.
Feelings!
This movie really makes me want to watch 6.5 weeks or whatever, 9.5 weeks.
9.5 weeks. 6.5 weeks, what you call it when you only watch the first 3/4.
Yep.
Yeah. Six years old.
Actually, for myself, I haven't seen a lot of movies at all with Rourke in it. My first was Sin City. Yep, and that was the only one I think before this. Not a big Rourke.
Yeah, it's
fan.
weird. I feel like a lot of people like they know like Mickey Rourke, the kind of fuck up plastic surgery guy with, you know, the weird face.
Yep.
But they don't know Mickey Rourke, the great actor who was considered like a handsome leading man.
Yeah.
So if you only know him from Sin City and The Wrestler, you're missing out on some quality stuff. But at some point, he decided to become a professional boxer, and he got his face caved in a few times, which is how he developed his look.
Yeah. Yep. It's
But I feel like everyone knows the name, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And totally believable as a badass, too. Like,
Oh, yeah,
of course
absolutely.
Mickey Rourke just became an amateur boxer because he looks like he could actually cave your face in.
yeah. He does indeed look capable of violence.
God, now I want to watch Hard Boiled. My copy that I ordered from Hong Kong Preservations needs to arrive.
Baby grenade.
I mean, it might be 6 months from now, based off of what I heard, but whatever.
Yeah.
The only way I could get it
6 months on the low end.
on the low end, yeah.
Oh,
Again,
Jean-Claude taking shrapnel in the back.
Yeah.
so he could save an infant rolling around the room. Just a boss-ass motherfucker right here.
Yep.
And that's what inspired this kid to become the boss baby. This is really an origin story.
Rename that child Jean-Claude. Come on. And here's where the movie gets a lot weirder, because you think it's like, oh, it's a simple cat and mouse revenge thriller, also a little Dennis Rodman flavor. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Welcome to James Bond Island.
Solid first act.
Yeah.
Solid first act.
This is where I was like, okay, this is interesting, because I think the first is fine.
Yeah. For a 90s action flick, you're like, okay, exciting first act.
Yeah.
You see that, blah blah blah.
I don't know. None of that action gets me.
No, it doesn't get the blood pumping, but like as far as like Mickey Rourke's character's like has some pathos, I guess.
For me, I'd say it's serviceable. Serviceable.
What pathos does he have?
I'm probably using the wrong word.
He doesn't do anything except hug his child and then try to murder other children.
Well, yeah.
That's because it says, I care about my kid, but fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's like the one thing he actually gives a shit about. And that's a problem.
You didn't even get that in the 90s for most villains.
He should have used the tiny corpse like a pair of nunchucks. That would have sold me.
Jesus Christ, Ryan.
Yeah, could use a little more child murder.
Kid chucks. So how we get this just weird, just Rube Goldbergian... Don't fuck up. You're gonna get nerve gassed.
Yeah. So JCVD has awoken in the colony, which is like the CIA ghosts old folks home.
And not the Lawrence Fishburne movie.
Yep.
No. He can either become he can either die or become a intelligence asset.
Yeah, this is where your theory, Steve, makes a lot more is where I buy it, because this colony sequence is, while somewhat long, doesn't feel fleshed out enough, and it feels like they're like, this colony thing doesn't quite work the way we want. Go get Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I know how we save it though. Eventually, he'll just fuck a bathtub.
That's a weird moment later on.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there,
dear listeners. Goldsmith. So he has the alias the Tax Man. I think that's the only time we ever hear him referred to as that.
Yeah.
That's a chipper old
I'd say
British.
I just got off the back nine.
Yeah, right.
I'd say this is hell, Florida, but Florida is worse.
Mm.
Also, look at how perilously close to the pool that golf cart is parked.
Yeah.
That one of the tires is hanging over the edge.
Well, that's because these are real dangerous professionals, James.
Yeah.
That's how they get their thrills in retirement.
I mean, at this place, it's probable that it's like partially aquatic golf cart. Like it could probably go on the water.
Yeah. Too valuable to kill, too dangerous to set free. So that's why people end up in the colony.
Yeah. And the colony is a retirement resort full of murderers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Hemsworth the
Yeah, I was
elder
gonna
comes
say
out
this
of
dude looks like a Hemsworth. And we're getting a reluctant handshake between Jean-Claude and this guy, and he gets fucking walloped.
This violence is not approved, as opposed to the regularly scheduled violence every day at 4:30.
Yeah.
Before supper is served.
Stick to the schedule. We have a schedule.
There's
that guy's earring.
There's a lot of man thighs in this movie.
Mm.
A lot of meaty thighs.
This is the beefcake era, James.
I'm good with that. I'm fine.
This is the beef cage.
This
They
is
can't
also
get
the
out.
Omega Watch era.
Yeah. As a man with beefy thighs, I'm okay with the beefy thigh era.
A lot of thigh information today.
So they go to a planetarium for Laser Floyd.
Yeah. This concept is ridiculous, and I wish we saw more of it because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, this is the dumbest thing in the world.
It's like insanely convoluted, right? They're like, this is our precognitive crime unit where we predict future crimes and track global, terrorism and things like that. Like, oh, okay. What does this have to do with the rest of the movie? Very little.
Very little.
Yes, very little.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Like, it feels like they were like, this is a really neat and fun
Like,
idea.
this could be an entire movie.
But it doesn't fit with anything else in in what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like even down to that, like keep your hand on the scanner. Okay.
Okay. Why?
Why? That's never explained.
To know that you're working. This is like 90s. Fucking. You have to be at your desk and working at all times.
Yeah.
You have to be logged into.
And they control everything with like an Atari Jaguar and a light bright, pretty much.
Fucking light bright. I use my light bright so much.
It's just beautifully convoluted.
Yeah.
It is.
Because all of this, it's all this world building that is completely unnecessary for what
totally
they're doing.
superfluous.
But it's just there.
It is entirely like, all right, the Cold War is over. What do all these spies do now? Get a job?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the visors be attached to their heads? Like, why are they attached to the seat? Put your hand back, dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Camera's on.
Particularly because like this whole thing is so silly because it's just them like it's everyone's just opinion.
Right. Is there some influence here, Steve, that crept into Possessor, maybe?
Yeah, it's kind of wild, honestly. Like, even if you compare this to the Pierce Brosnan, James Bond joints of the era, this is so much more high concept and needlessly so.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing where you have these kind of disparate narratives going on, where on one hand you have your typical revenge thriller, and then you have all of this pseudo sci-fi nonsense that is woven into it, and it's odd. It's a weird way to just pad your second act, but here we are.
It is. These feel like two very different movies.
Yeah. So JCVD's like, the president is lying.
Oh.
And then he's like, all right, zoom and enhance.
Yep. Shadow found.
Whoever the spy is that yells AWAC needs to just get immediately like ejected out of his chair.
The seat just shoots upwards.
Yeah, like the guy who's like, that's an AWAC. No.
It's got the Dr. Evil just tilts back
Yeah.
and you fall into
He
a
should.
furnace.
Into the fire pit.
And AWACS is a jumbo jet, basically. It's like that's basically the henchman from Venture Brothers that says that Brock Sampson is two ninjas duct taped together.
Yeah. Killer of men. Killer of henchmen.
Like
That is like a fucking Venture Brothers
yeah,
plot thing.
it
It's
is,
like,
yeah.
Brock awakes after not being almost killed and being like, oh, wow, I killed half you guys already. They're like in Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now if all that shit wasn't enough, we have sea lasers.
Sea laser.
Interlocking lasers, right?
Yes. I love it when my lasers interlock. That's how I know when people are
Laser
serious
nets.
about their lasers. Excuse me, sir. Are your lasers interlocked? No? Well, then we're done here.
I also like it's the ocean is a 3D space. Like you.
That's
could
why
just
they
go,
said
No
they're
one
1
knows how
meter
lasers
down.
work in the 90s.
Waves never happen and the water level never changes, James.
but like, just go under them.
Yeah, I don't know. I want the actor playing Goldsmith to be Charles Dance, but it's not Charles Dance. It's Charles Tango. Charles Breakdance.
Yes.
Better. Go with that one.
And then his wife is sad.
It's like rain, 'cause your husband's dead. It's a free advice.
Go by the pool. Just push
Get more
other
wet.
men into
Hey,
the pool.
free pool water.
What we call a big mood, boys.
Mhm.
Just somber pool watching.
Man, this
The
lady's-
ears on that woman to hear the
the phone. Yeah,
phone
Jesus.
over. Was she going to drown herself?
Contemplating suicide.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
woman spends
how
most
much
of the
this
movie
does
wet
Catherine
and close.
play, or does Catherine have a wet T-shirt on? And the answer is 50% of her screen time.
Mm-hmm. So she's answered a call here. Apparently, there's someone who wants to show her art. They want to put together an exhibition for her.
Yeah,
Exhibition.
which red
It's
flag,
a
lady,
one-sided
your art sucks
conversation.
shit.
Like the person on the phone just keeps talking. Like does not stop. You're surprised, yes? I will send you a plane ticket in the morning. Bye-bye.
By courier.
Yeah.
Not just be like, no, just go to the airport. The ticket will be waiting for you. No, we'll bring the ticket to you.
Like, what if someone slips and falls and can't get back to their fucking
Then
thing?
they die.
Yeah.
Then they're no longer useful, Ryan.
So, question. If the nerve gas comes out in their room, why do they give a shit when they're not in their room?
They want to know where they are.
Like the
during
resident
this.
here. If he's not here to put the thumb thing on, that also means he's not in the room to get gas. So why does he give a shit?
It probably explodes.
Because then it just continually puts gas out, and he has to live like a hobo.
Yeah.
I love this. This is so dumb.
Yeah, this is good. He's using a packet of cigarettes to simulate a cargo plane dropping supplies through the laser beams.
Yeah. It's a weird sequence. They couldn't just show the drop happening. They have to have Jean-Claude Van Damme doing all these weird cigarette things.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing you really have to come to terms with this movie. You can ask why. All right, you can ask yourself that.
Oh,
but
I do.
the answer 9 times out of 10 is because it fucking looks cool. That's why.
Yeah.
Why does Jean-Claude Van Damme flick a cigarette into his mouth like that? Because it's cool as hell. Clearly, he's a cardio freak and he does not smoke.
I also want to know what they. What is the plane taking?
Yeah,
away?
what does the Spy Island produce? That they're like,
no garbage.
yeah.
I think that's what they do. Like, they have to go check in with their little thumbprint things so that they can make dream catchers in their little fucking fantasy island gulag.
Just making
my
kitsch
birthday
for
week.
flea markets. Is that what these guys are doing?
Mm-hmm.
A butterfly on the 27th.
Yeah, touch it too.
Touch my butterfly.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, in a different movie.
For whom the bell tolls.
Oh man, this beer's almost gone. I'm very sad about that.
I've been watching too much Giallo films. These cars need to be smaller.
Oh, we'll get
the small
later.
car.
Yeah.
That is a good gag in this movie. I like that.
Yeah, that statue's got a wiener hanging out there. Fun fact. Wiener watch.
And the guy's like, I'm just gonna pee right here. No one's gonna notice. They'll be appreciating the art.
Just gonna no-hand it. Ignore the sound.
Yep. So
This
So
is
guys
a set. Like this is an actual. This is not.
that's
a set.
an actual museum.
This is an
I'm like,
actual
yep,
museum.
that's a place in Rome.
Yep. We stole all your things.
Hold on. Art. Wait, no, that's French. All right, so people tell me that I'm kind of extra for doing pull-ups or chin-ups in my bathroom, but this is some next-level nonsense.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Well, this is it's a 90s Jean-Claude movie, so we have to get the full
The
stretch
splits.
moment, the
Yeah.
splits.
Yep.
Yeah, my dick and scrot would just completely split if I tried to do anything that he's doing right here.
Yeah.
It's impressive, yes, but as someone who is vehemently against any sort of physical activity, I'm appalled.
I mean, at least they give the CIA agents some art to look at while they're, doing their quarantine workouts.
Yeah. So I guess, he had a cane a moment ago, right? And he just,
Yep, it's on the floor.
Yep, he loses the cane. So is he outwardly pretending to be, a little bit hobbled, so the others think he's physically, not capable to escape?
No.
That's how I read it.
Well, he's a little hobbly, but
He's
the
hobbly,
way
but
I
he's trying to
interpret it
get
is like
unhobbled.
he's faking it a smidge just so that they don't know that he's getting jacked as hell.
Yeah, he's playing it up a little
Yeah.
bit. Let me say it that way.
It's also a way of showing that time is passing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man, we
he's-
get that energetic, sexy Van Damme working out music.
just fucking reverse pull up nonsense. Yeah. That's a nice cut. I do
Yeah.
like that. He
Yeah,
drops
down
down
into
from
the
the
bed.
from this pull up and he lands in his bed. And also we saw him put the maps up and we know that at least 2 months have passed.
Oh, the calendars. Science! Holograms!
So one of the things they never really say is like, no one knows about this, but they are contracted by someone.
No one knows where they are.
Oh, no one knows they are, but they know that there's like a CIA spook think tank.
Spook tank.
Yeah, United Nations spook tank.
Thank tank. No, that's just where you find a lot of gratitude. No.
Also, we've learned that Stavros is so good, Algeria simply cannot afford him.
Yeah.
Impressive.
The entire country.
Yeah.
I hope to one day also not be affordable to Algeria. That's my one success.
No. Enhanced. De-enhanced.
De-enhance. De-zoom.
Jacquin, come on, Jacquin. We need more Jacquin. Quick.
So Stavros knows that JCVD is watching. So
Yes.
he's like taunting him.
Yeah, so on the
Yep.
side of a building, it's some graffiti that says, "I have your butterfly."
Which no one notices except
Nope.
him.
It's like a scene out of in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is. This right here is why it feels like a different movie. Like this feels like this was the first act to this movie doesn't match up to this part of the movie. Like this feels like this would have been more towards the end of the movie. Like they would have had this comment and then he would have let him go free to go do his thing.
So Steve, what are you drinking on your end?
Yeah, fill us in.
Oh,
Bob.
thanks for asking, Max. Well, whenever I'm looking for an alcoholic beverage, I'm looking for, a little refreshment, but also to catch a good buzz. And so my beer of choice today is Kirkland's Signature 2019 Cabernet Sauvignon. And if you're wondering, yeah, that's in a box. So
Not in a bag.
Hey,
Box.
you know what? That
Costco makes good wine.
Costco box wine is legit. So when I was in Hawaii, which Ryan will know this, my grandfather likes to have wine with his friends after dinner. We went through upwards of 35 boxes of wine in like 2 weeks.
yeah,
Proud of you guys.
that's awesome because each box is about 3 bottles. So
Yes.
Yeah.
you do the math. That's awesome.
So
I like this one. It's fine, but especially at the price point.
Yeah.
But as far as Costco bottled wine goes, they have a Malbec. It's just a Kirkland brand Malbec. It costs $7, and I will take it over any bottle of Malbec under $30. Full stop.
Yeah.
I believe
Like it's that
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You guys ready
this
to watch
is just
Jean-Claude
people working
fuck a
out during
bathtub?
quarantine.
Yep. He's just banging this bathtub.
Wow.
What a weird scene to
Yeah.
ask him to film, man.
Yep.
Yeah, this is it's extremely erotic. I'm aerating my wine with my throbbing erection right now. It is just incredible sight.
I mean, you're being efficient
If
with it.
it's
so good
not a
on you.
JCVD movie unless he has some sort of garbage gymnasium that he's like working out in.
Yeah, but most of them don't involve him having sex with the gymnasium.
True.
There's some
Yeah.
sort
I
of
mean, gym
pseudo.
people. I mean, to quote Arnold, "I'm coming at the gym. I'm coming."
Yeah.
Yeah, Jean-Claude kind of gives me the vibe that he probably doesn't like gay people very much, but he likes to kind of like, shake his business at them to try and get their dollar bills.
Sure. That's having some pseudo orgasms during that montage.
Coke
Nice.
cameo.
Yep.
Coke is back, baby.
Once again, the unsung hero.
Kegel. Wasn't he just doing Kegels as part of his exercise? No, that's a different thing. That's a Kegel.
So as he's slicing off his thumbprint, we are drinking now key lime a la mode, also from Ferndale Project, a key lime pie inspired sour ale.
No, I mean, not the beer, but watching Jean-Claude Van Damme peel his actual fingerprint off.
Good scene
Yeah.
Yep.
as he makes some fucking MacGyver shit.
Yeah.
But what are you guys thinking of this key lime pie sour?
Also real fucking good.
I really like this.
Yeah, this tastes exactly like a slice of key lime pie.
Yep.
We've had some key lime pie beers over the years, both on the podcast and off, and I think this is probably the closest to
Absolutely.
the actual pie.
No question.
Yep.
And I hate that I'm saying that because I'm like, God damn these beers.
It's wild how well Ferndale Project captured the confection portion of these last two things. It's you can taste the fucking crust.
Yeah.
What is this? How do they do it?
They're magic. They
I do know that the crust has to do with like the grain they use because I've had some quote unquote pie beers before.
Yeah,
and it's a
yeah.
combination of the grain and also the vanilla, I think.
Sure.
they do a good job.
Yeah.
Ferndale
This is
Project
great.
understands how to make sours, which is what you get when you were like, we're going to make an entire brewery that only makes sours.
Yep.
Oh man, Jean-Claude hatched his plan right now. Shit's popping off.
You know the best way, gentlemen, if you're ever trying to escape somewhere to do that, to take care of something, is to, as you're about to be free, you just scream as you're leaving.
Yeah. Oh, and the lasers go down briefly just as he hits the water.
To a very drastic music change that just says like, yes, I am underwater.
No one noticed the huge splash in Yelling Man, by the way.
Nope.
Yeah, why would they? Come on.
Yeah,
The
if you
striped shirt goons are
I was
out.
gonna say if you squint a little bit, it looks like a armada of mimes on the way.
Yep. Frogmen need a retirement home too.
Okay.
Swimming with a fucking open bag underwater has to be such a chore.
Yeah, this is clutch because he's like double suffocating him because
Yeah.
he's putting a plastic bag over his head underwater, which totally kicks
It'd
ass.
just be like, okay, yeah, whatever. I couldn't breathe before. Now
Yeah.
I double can't breathe.
I couldn't breathe before, but now I'm a little extra mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how they just have like a frogman just like hanging out
Just in case.
just in case anyone tries to scuba their way out of here.
And that Jean-Claude still, even underwater, gets a sidekick in.
Yeah. Contractually obligated sidekick.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't care if I'm underwater, in space, on a mountain.
Yes.
Has Van Damme been in space yet? I don't know that he has.
I don't know if there's been Space Van Damme.
I
It's
don't
a new
know.
frontier for him.
If he is, I bet he would just point and then find the satellite he's looking for.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. It's just whee!
Yeah.
Yoinked away on the skyhook here.
And this guy.
Lasers!
Just lasered underwater.
You see, that's how you know your lasers are intersecting properly.
Yep.
When the victim just instantaneously combusts.
Here we have some Mission Impossible nonsense.
Yes. I like that they talk about intersecting lasers, though, because otherwise someone would be like, if you just have lasers, it's just you made swim lanes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we might have to stop. I think this is the Uncharted trailer. Sorry.
Yeah. Again, no one notices this guy.
Well, they notice that the bag is heavy.
I would... yeah, that face.
Jean-Claude Van Damme getting blasted in the face with a wind machine rocks.
Yep.
Yeah. I would argue that Jean-Claude Van Damme is a tiny man, and the force of that thing being behind the plane, they would not notice that he...
They'd have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
None at all.
Jean-Claude's a gentleman here, though.
Kicks the guy over.
Yep.
Asks him if he has a parachute, and then boots him out the plane.
They're suddenly over land, like right away, by the way. This island that they're on is like within swimming distance.
But there's lasers, as we've established.
James, they're intersecting lasers. What
Yeah.
do you want?
They're also clearly over middle America because it's just farms.
Yeah.
Like,
And or southern France.
just empty farms.
Yeah.
There's the parachute.
This is great, though. I miss the days where you could actually throw people out of planes.
Yeah.
Like, I would take this scene 1,000 times over the Uncharted trailer.
Yeah.
Def.
What about this? What about Jean? Who's better at throwing people off of planes, Steve? Jean-Claude Van Damme or Harrison Ford?
I mean, really, it's a crapshoot, but I'm gonna go Jean-Claude 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
Harrison Ford has too much fatherly energy for me. I can't handle it.
So now we see
Even
that,
when he was young, I just want to be like, "Shut up, Dad."
Charles Breakdance now has 72 hours to find Jean-Claude. We cut to Antwerp. Ooh, I am Dutch Ghost.
Yes.
You know, I actually kind of wanted to see what type of helmet Yaz would have worn. I bet it's awesome. Probably has streamers or feathers on it or something.
He just flexes and his hair becomes harder.
Yeah.
Cool by that.
It's a helmet that looks like hair, like in Flight of the Conchords. Again, wardrobe by Rodman.
Yeah. Honestly, my thing with Rodman's character is that this is a bizarre. He's not flamboyant enough. Like when he's that scene right there is where I would want to see him be more like as he was right there. Like they got into a fight and they fall down and he just starts laughing.
Yeah.
Like I like that.
There really isn't enough like chaotic silliness to him, or as much as you'd want.
Yes.
And you'd think that based on how he's presented, his character would kind of have a little more depth to his androgyny, but really not. He's just a really shitty wooden actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would bet that that's kind of what limited, you know, how silly they could get with him.
That's fair.
Is just Rodman's acting ability. Dead men don't get credit. No bullets for you, bud.
Well, and you got to remember too, this came out in 1997, so like it was probably filmed in '96. Rodman is still like he's still an NBA player at this point.
Yeah.
See, like that moment right there, like he's got enough acting ability to kind of pull that, right? Like,
yeah, for as inept as he typically is with his acting, there's still a level of just like charisma to it.
Yes.
Regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, they're on a plane now, about to jump out, and apparently they're outfitted with one of Yaz's inventions. So he's kind of like Q a bit.
Mm-hmm. I was expecting flight suit.
Yeah, like a squirrel suit.
Right?
Yeah.
Which Michael Bay saw once, and he was like, "Yes, I'm putting that in Transformers."
Nope, they turn it into a basketball joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So they're falling out the sky.
Well, so that's what's kind of weird about it. Like, I don't, unless I just missed it. When you first see him, like Act 1 Yaz does not have any basketball related humor to him. And then they really lean into it the more he's on screen. And I feel like the more they do it, the more they take away from like the goofy, silly part of him.
Yeah, because, obviously a basketball. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, they landed safely. They survived. Some weird ADR here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rodman without the glasses on just looks weird.
This is just so. Again, at what point did you go? What we need here is a giant basketball. Like where does that come into play? Or does like Tsui Hark just walked on to the set and he expects it to just be a normal parachute scene, and they're like, "So we got this."
That lady looks nothing like his wife.
No.
Is it possible they maybe have like a nanny or two?
Possibly.
That's his freaking doula. Come on.
They didn't before.
Well, he's been dead for 3 months.
Yeah.
You tell me Jean-Claude doesn't have life insurance and sweet doula money? Come on.
My assumption was it was implied to be a nanny.
Yes.
That's how I took it anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh, potion.
Get them lembic flasks. Yeah, she even says, "Yes, Catherine, I'm coming." So it's implied to be a nanny.
And a Mrs. Doubtfire situation. No grenade, but just high explosives apparently.
The 90s loved an exploding baby doll. This,
hell yeah.
The Rock.
This kicks ass too, because they're like, okay, we're setting this trap to blow him up, and then we're also gonna drive a weird truck over him, and we're gonna shoot him with 3 guys.
Yeah.
Everything about this kicks ass. Everything's exploding everywhere.
What is the physics of him getting into the pool after how they just showed him moving is not viable. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it even within the silliness of this movie.
No. And then he's attacked by a bunch of Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. With the bulletproof pool floaty.
Yeah.
How will I bring sexy back now?
Also, wasn't this guy
Did he just
supposed
shoot John DeHart in the face?
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
I thought this was supposed to be an automatic gun, but maybe he got a more different gun.
Hell yeah. And then you got your doula over here, half blown up, just trying to fuck up Jean-Claude.
Doula team.
Yeah.
Pew 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 pew. Yes, the little wooden chair.
Death
The
Doula
nanny
does
with a
not
grenade.
let up. Now she's got a grenade.
And he's like, I have regrets about shooting this woman who's going to kill me.
Okay, this
Again.
single grenade,
Again.
the entire pool explodes.
Yeah. It's because the pool's made out of gasoline, guys.
Yep.
Come on.
We replaced all your water in your pool with gasoline.
Yeah. This movie just doesn't understand how explosions work.
Nope.
But James, it's not about that because again, at the end of the day, it looks very cool when water explodes.
Not wrong.
I
Not
recognize
wrong.
that,
The,
Steve.
the goon is just having a smoke, talking on his phone. So, but no. I'm sorry, guys. So within this plan, there was all right. Idle this car, put this photo under the windshield, and put this CD in the player on repeat. In the event that he escapes the exploding house, the exploding car,
The doula.
and the exploding pool with the doula and the goons.
Yep.
Goon's like, it's me, I'm on. Oh, I fubbed it.
For a half second there, that guy looks like Mickey Rourke.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Yaz is demanding the CIA account numbers he was promised.
Poorly.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get the fun giant guy in a tiny car scene.
Yep. It's the car from Deep Red.
Yeah. He's dressed as Frozone from The Incredibles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's like, I need to be inconspicuous. Anyone else would recognize me for my ridiculous hair.
Yeah. Where is my super suit?
Why do you need to know?
I love that scene.
His head's
His
poking out.
head's it's
That's
so,
pretty funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
You look like a carrot with earrings.
Yeah. You can go 2 miles per hour.
Very old GPS with a car
Oh,
phone.
Alpine brand. I used to work for those guys, boys.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
I love
Europe,
the
so
finger
there's-
puppets.
There's just street nonsense going on.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that like 73% of Europe is just puppets doing stuff on the
Buskers.
street.
I've been watching the Puppet Master films, so yes, can confirm.
Everything else is tiny drinks on tiny tables and statues.
Yep. And people delivering said drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So Yaz just wanders into this hotel, just says, "Is there any mail for so and so?" And the dude just hands it to him. Doesn't check.
Nope.
Here's some
It's the
fucking mail.
It's the 90s. We don't check.
Yeah, this is when the towers were still standing, Ryan. All right,
Yeah.
back when you could just get your mail as a black man with purple hair in France.
Back when you could bring a knife onto a plane.
Yeah, we all had plain knives. I remember mine.
They just dress him in black clothing the whole time.
Yep.
All right.
But that suit of Dennis Rodman's, that just screams late 90s tailoring. He's about to appear in a David Lynch film and be spooked by a bum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because Dennis Rodman's like 6'8". He's huge.
Yes.
So you would think like you can't make a suit that's 2 sizes too big for Dennis Rodman, and yet here we are.
Yep, subverting expectations.
We need an entire bolt of fabric.
Well, you remember some of those like early 2000s NBA drafts, Steve?
Yep.
Where it just looked like they were wearing a wall.
A curtain, wearing the curtain for your mom's living room.
All that stuff's tailor-made.
So I would describe Rodman's hair color scheme in this scene as fruity pebbles. That's what it looks like to me.
I was gonna say, "Oops, all berries."
Yeah, that's better. No,
That's
that is
fine.
better.
Yep.
So,
Digital facts.
yeah.
Attention, ghosts.
Yes.
So Quinn is sending out a phony message here that he knows is going to be intercepted by Stavros.
Yep.
Going to smoke him out.
So when a spy gets killed and sent to the colony or whatever the heck, they get ghosted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah. Ah. You're awfully sweaty, Mick.
That moment right there. So he says he's a very sensitive man.
Another place. I was like,
Is
does he
that
want
a
to
moment
fuck
where
him?
He's like, yeah. Is he like, I would bone Quinn if like we weren't mortal enemies?
That's what it sounds like.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which I mean, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I need that tension between my hero and my villain. That like,
I
will
want
they
to
or
kill
won't
him
they
/ I
kind
want
of
to fuck
vibe.
him.
Was that Artie Lang on that horse?
These binocular moments are so ridiculous.
So all the various agencies are accounted for. Mossad, the local boys, the Italians. Rodman bumps into one of the spooks.
Yep. So
I love
post-apocalyptic. We have post-apocalyptic Jean-Claude Van Damme
Yes.
hanging out with some goths.
This is good. He's just got his like
I love
Encino
it.
Man hair going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like I
this
had
is
that written
Pauly
down
Shore.
actually, Steve.
Yeah, this is Pauly Shore as Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, he's fucking Brendan Fraser, man.
He's getting ready for Woodstock '99.
There's Artie Lang. Less so now that he's clear, but still.
Mazel tov.
Or whatever.
Yazeltov.
They're Italian, James. They say Bosco stick.
Yeah, keep it straight.
Gothron! He sees his wife in the car, and he just can't help himself.
Like, I'm with the goths. I must be very emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, this seems like an uncharacteristic slip from him.
Yep.
I know
you got
that Dutch
pigeons
American
flying
accent
in
anywhere.
slow-mo.
No.
The wig is so bad.
I want to meet the guy he beat up to get these shitty clothes too.
Just kiss. Just kiss him now.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Yeah. Do a smooch, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stavros and Jack are face to face here. Jack's looking up, Jack's looking up, seeing the snipers. So Stavros is implying that he's going to raise Jack's kid, kind of.
No, he's gonna kill Jack's kid.
Well, yes.
And he's
yes.
like, I am a man out for revenge. I will kill all of you.
Kill the whole
Yes.
family.
So
Everybody's
all the buskers reveal themselves to be cops, and then we have the guy with the SMG on the back of a horse.
Yep. Again, just like the
Like the gypsy woman said,
the amusement park, everyone is a spy.
or a goon.
Yes, or a goon.
They should have had a brief scene of a mime expiring in this, like the clown dying at the fair.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to watch Tim Burton Batman for that one.
True. A lot of civvies taking hits.
Again, another scene that's supposed to be chaotic and like scary and everything, and it feels so slow
Too many-
and empty.
Too many cuts.
Yep.
Like, I can see what it's trying to do, but it does not do it well.
Oh, that horse hit that chair.
Good stunt horse.
Stunt horse.
This guy has a PlayStation 5.
There's a much better guy going down rope scene in Time and Tide, which maybe we'll touch on.
Who's this guy? I do not know.
He's got an extra health bar, but
Yep.
that's as much as we get.
It's
Yep.
Antonio
Different color.
Banderas from Desperado.
Yeah, you're not that far off.
Why is his hair green now? He's got lemon and lime hair.
He changes his hair the whole movie.
That's how he blends in. Can't
Yeah.
track him.
No one can know.
You're out of the game.
Basketball.
Basketball is also a game.
Yes.
Is there a connection?
This is the first time we actually see Yaz get into any sort of physical confrontation other than that sucker punch on the goon.
Yeah.
Now they get jumping out of a plane, but
So they're slugging it out inside of a cab.
we had 90 silence weapons, which are, as loud as farts.
He's up. He's in. He just hurls the dude through a fucking van driving by.
And again, the camera angle on that shot doesn't give you the appreciation of how much bigger he is than the other guy. Right? Like, it's not him just reaching over the top of the car and grabbing him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, from
You do get an aspect that he is a big guy, but not as that big of a guy.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it speaks to, like Steve said, he has no, like, you don't ever seem to think how big he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He takes up space, but he doesn't have presence.
Yeah.
He's just a mass.
Fruit stripe. He's the fruit stripe.
He's like a table that walks around sometimes.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. And
A
table.
banquet table. So now we're in some like Dan Brown novel nonsense.
Yep.
Briefcase gun.
Love a briefcase gun. Oh, always good.
Policia. Yeah.
Oh, you lost your briefcase, man. You have one job. Yeah.
He's in Lucille Bluth's apartment.
Yes. Kick.
Wait,
A lot
what?
of sliding bodies. Well, a sliding body.
Very hard to follow this fight scene because, like, suddenly there's a bald guy who's kicking chairs.
Chair foo.
First time we see someone who can physically
Hold
match
the ground.
JCVD.
Yeah.
We have a tabla in the background for some reason.
Shoo shoo.
A guy who shakes his shoes off.
So this is kind of a fun
They
scene
got
because,
toe knife.
a lot of the action and stunt choreography hasn't read as specifically as kind of like Hong Kong action
This does.
in terms
This
of the
does.
fighting.
This does.
This is, along with the hospital shootout, this is a very Hong Kong style hand-to-hand fight.
Right.
And one of the reasons why is it's this amazing like knife work, and it's stunt coordinated by Sammo Hung, who's like a fucking legend.
Mhm.
So they literally just imported Sammo Hung for a day so they could shoot this cool fight scene.
This
And
scene's
it's good.
great. I love
Ooh.
this scene.
He's
Like
got the
that.
Pulls the
garrote.
garrote out.
Garrote, yep.
What a hideous weapon of murder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were playing Delta Green recently, and Claire was playing a badass killer, and she full-on garroted someone in that
yeah.
game.
That's fucking gruesome, man.
Yep.
Counter garrote.
Yep. Reverse. Using the goon to kick the other goon to go into the goon's knife. That's
Yeah. No, this whole scene, scene
Yeah.
actually has like
great.
Like,
More of this.
yes, more of this. It's strong,
It's
it's
visceral.
interesting, it's visceral, and like you feel the weight and momentum behind the combat.
It's tense.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, I mean, if you have Sammo Hung for your fight choreography, that's what you get.
That's what you get.
Yep. More clues to where his wife
Yes.
actually is. Waiting for this to explode when he takes it off.
It's a really tiny baby with a bomb on it.
Served him on a tray.
Yeah. I'm out. It's nighttime. We're at some weird hospital situation here. Like an off-the-grid hospital.
Yeah. Omen theme starts playing. It was Dominus.
The goon on the far left is like sort of Matt Damon-y. Not Matt Damon, Jesus Christ. Matthew McConaughey looking a little bit. It's in the hair, really.
Yeah.
Dramatic scalpel shots being like, we're going to get this baby out of you even if we have to kill you.
Yeah.
And we will then kill the baby.
This hospital is already run down that she's giving birth in.
It's not looking super sanitary.
More like insanitary.
The doorbell, that's an actual bell. Now we have the Dan Brown nonsense. I was getting getting ahead of my notes.
So
a fun scene that we're about to have here in a moment.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Van Damme is he's met up with some monks here. He's being led by a friar at the moment. Oh, those are the bones of his brothers. The skulls in the wall.
Yep. Going through some ossuaries.
So the friar's dropping some tech talk. These are very advanced folks.
Mm-hmm. The most just weirdly placed duo.
Yep.
Fist bump that monk. I do like the 90s aesthetic of just like a bunch of tech shit just kind of like cobbled together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we got a lot of wires and a lot of buttons, and we're doing hacks.
Yep.
Doing all the hacks.
We haven't done any like good like 90s what? Good 90s like sci-fi stuff. Like we haven't done Johnny Mnemonic yet, which I'm
that's
sure
on the
we will.
list.
Yeah.
We got to do Hackers with Hugh Jackman.
Wait, what?
Wait, no. I'm thinking fucking Swordfish. Whoops.
Yes. Hackers is
Hackers is a different thing, obviously.
yeah, also kind of on the list, but I legit love that movie.
Swordfish, which you all bought a ticket for because you just wanted to see Halle Berry's boobs.
Had I been old enough at the time, yes. Yeah, that would have been the driver. I think I saw that on video.
I saw it
VHS,
on
man.
home when my dad had a satellite card and we were watching like the premium channels without paying for them.
Fancy.
Wow.
Wow.
The piracy runs deep.
That's nice that she had a good, like, wholesome Halle Berry boob moment with your dad.
I don't remember that scene specifically, but I remember watching. I remember ball bearing bombs.
Yes. I remember thinking that was pretty brutal.
That's like literally the first 20 minutes. It's the
Yeah.
ball bearing bomb in the beginning, and then Halle Berry's boobs, and then it's just forgettable, fake kind of James Bondy movie.
Yeah, that's about all I remember about it. Nice little pun there from He's like, oh, these relics are worth a fortune, and the monks are like,
Yes.
He's like, JK.
Yeah, in the spiritual sense.
You know the best place to put a hospital? Where it's only reachable by one road over a bridge.
Yep.
Good hospital spot there
I
in
mean,
Rome.
city planning had a different, ideal back in the Middle Ages or whatever.
I mean, I suppose, yeah. They're still using that that medieval hospital.
I mean, all roads lead to Rome, so all you need is one road.
Yeah, apparently.
The lucky coin.
This is so silly.
Yeah.
It would be, but it's just such a poorly delivered line, though, too.
Yeah, it's what's that? Semtex handier than duct tape. Yeah.
Compared to that line is well delivered, and
Yeah.
my lucky plastic explosive is not.
So Yaz does not have enough ignition wire to safely, ignite the plastic explosives.
Yep.
So So he's gonna throw a skull, which makes the
Miss.
Tries to make the wires touch.
And he yells,
Air ball. So we got basketball humor.
Yep.
I wanted this to be a Shaq joke about how Shaq can't do free throws.
Yeah.
The other thing about this too is, you have the original basketball joke after he parachutes down, and then you have this basketball joke, and it makes you wonder, like, obviously they want us as audience members to go, ha ha, Dennis Rodman basketball.
Yes.
But in the world of the film, is that how we're supposed to understand this as well?
We're not.
Is he an androgynous gun smuggling basketball player?
No.
Not? Yeah,
no, he's not at all.
He's got that rich character background.
Yeah. Oh, look, baby.
It's un baby.
Yep.
Does this baby explode?
No.
I mean, it's the 90s. It'd be the style at the time.
Don't come in this door. Come in the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The blue door is for entering only.
Yeah.
Pushing on a pole, buddy.
Yeah. You're going to stealthily enter by banging on the door. I bet if he just yelled at it, he could go.
Yep. Yell and jump. That's the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everyone's losing their shoes in this movie.
Yeah.
Weird camera angles in a lot of this.
Can the crime boss really not afford more goons? There are perhaps 6 on this whole compound.
Yeah.
Well, there's not enough. There's not a full crowd. So
I mean, they're well-paid goons. That's why the Algerians can't afford Stavros, because he's giving them all full benefits.
True.
Matches the 401k contributions.
Yeah, and Catherine.
Get him, Catherine.
Scalpel's a guy.
Oh, and the nurse fucking offs the dude. Good work, nurse.
Yep. Now, is that a new nurse, or is that the lady that was taking care of her at the art gallery and or hotel?
I believe that's the previously mentioned nurse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, same nurse.
These two being like, same team.
Yeah, just reversal.
Yeah, right. Counter.
And again, they give a little hint of how much bigger he is than Jean-Claude right there. But before they talk to each other, they have to get closer to the same height. It's the rule of this whole movie. Like even right there, they go to they walk at a different height up to the doorway, and then they're about to talk to each other. So Jean-Claude gets a little on his tippy toes.
Yeah.
And Rodman gets down a little. They're always at the same height when they're talking to each other.
As close as possible. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he was a decoy.
Yeah.
So we get some kicks from
some
Yaz.
good kicks.
Pretty cool. And he does like a garbage can twirl thing.
I bet all the Star Wars nerds would be mad that he just didn't pick that up and throw it.
So that's the most physical that Yaz gets in this movie. I
And he
think.
looks great.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. That's a fun little scene.
Yeah,
I like it.
There should have been more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's not yelling Catherine and running to her in this scene. You
Yeah.
dumbass.
Yeah, now you're quiet.
Yeah.
Catherine.
Are you sleeping? Shh.
He's wearing black high tops. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh, she's awake enough to recognize him. I kind of wanted the nurse under the table to wing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Nothing serious.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hadn't taken a bunch of shrapnel early on, she probably would have.
You know, Lesser Man would have lost that disgusting, filthy faux fur coat by now.
Yeah.
But Jean-Claude stays committed.
Yeah, that's got to be fucking gnarly at this point.
That coat has to smell so bad.
Yeah. Jack walked so Bane could run.
Yeah, apparently.
Touching moments, reunited lovers.
That camera shot, though.
Boom.
Picture of Jean-Paul II in the background.
Yeah.
Gotta rep the JP2 when you're down here in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Go get your boy.
Yaz's tie here is simultaneously hideous and not ridiculous enough for him.
That's the 90s.
Yeah.
Hideous, but not ridiculous enough.
His wife looks so different throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
She looks like 3 or 4 different people.
Yeah.
I too just
Oh,
walk
as
into
far
the
as
Coliseum.
like extremely kick-ass places to engage with your, rival,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
would say with their baby in a fucking bullfighting ring while smoking a cigar is about as good as it gets. And he just takes
Surrounded
his
by
shirt off.
landmines?
It's like, why not, right?
Yeah. Coliseum and landmines.
Yeah, this is like the Roman Coliseum, right? Like
Yeah.
this is what this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
No
Rourke
guns.
is fucking shredded.
Yeah, he looks great right here.
Yeah. Looks like someone who could, punch your face in.
Yeah.
Until then, he gets his face punched in. We got the same little dolly thing from when his son was killed.
Yeah. Rourke does look like he has very tiny hands right here, though.
His head looks very small in proportion to the rest of his body. With his leather Italian boots.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that vascularity.
Yeah.
And then he's got a tiger, because fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this. Rourke actually has like the modern, like today action star body. Like,
Yeah.
He's big. He's not just like
He's big, he's cut.
He's big. He's cut. He's not just in the realm of like a lot of 90s or like 90s action stars, which was just like they're skinny.
Well, 90s action stars were the more of they're regular guys.
Yeah.
Which, like, Bruce Willis initiated with Die Hard, which is like, I'm just a cop. I'm in the right place
That's
at
bullshit.
the right time.
I don't want any regular guys. I want everyone to be jacked as hell.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not cut like Arnold in Commando, get the fuck off my screen.
Okay, Vince McMahon.
And now we have
I
Yaz
need
on a dirt
big,
bike.
vascular boys.
Yeah.
So we just talked over it, but Van Damme fucking kicks a tiger.
Who is clearly on a chain in that scene.
Yeah.
And then Yaz, dirt bike, snatches the baby.
Yeah, he's got a dirt bike. Come on. Like, all the elements that are going on in this moment, dirt bike, baby, wheelie, landmines, tiger, Mickey Rourke, no shirt.
Coliseum.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's a hurt bike in this
Yeah.
movie.
It's literally like whoever wrote this, someone was just screaming all the cool shit they could think of, and he just wrote it all down.
It's like they go to one of those, like, panel survey things and like, all right, name the cool things that you would like to see in an action movie.
Yeah.
Dirt bike, BMX, landmine.
And the kitty has been chasing Jean-Claude now.
Mm-hmm. He just wants hugs.
Yes.
Sharp, pointy hugs.
More pets.
Yeah. Just gotta scratch him under the belly.
And Yaz transports this baby in a dirt bike, which is already dangerous, and then just puts it on the handlebars and drives around
Yeah.
with it.
It's got a
It's
very
a
nice
biblical allegory, you know. Yaz's dirt bike is kind of like the Nile.
Yeah, totally. Some very obvious not Jean-Claude Van Damme in some of these shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually just Jack Hanna.
And we have the return of the tabla.
Oh. Ooh, yes.
So
Gets the guy
Yaz
coming
takes
downstairs.
down sniper guy.
He does a lot of throwing people in this movie, which very not Van Damme there. Which does a good job of showing how strong he is, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, question:
brute force.
is this the same tiger from the beginning of the movie?
I hope so.
Odds seem high.
Yeah. I meant more like in story, not like they got the.
So are you
exact
saying
same
it was like a
tiger
real
actor.
Chekhov's tiger situation?
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense because Stavros as a villain is very theatrical. So
yeah, it's
him
probably the
knowing
same
that there
tiger.
was a tiger at the circus fair, whatever, where his son was killed, it would only make sense for him to bring it back in the third act.
Agreed.
So the goon tries to shoot the tiger, but the tiger is goon's out of bullets. So he gets tigered.
Yeah, and the tiger is not out of tiger.
Tiger has some big balls.
Yes, big kitty balls.
Rodman is also strong, jacked here.
Yeah.
Or he's strong looking, but he's like skinny strong.
Yeah, he's basketball strong.
Yeah.
Again,
he's
same eye level here for no reason.
Yep.
But one clearly being much smaller than the other.
Kid just tucked away in the fucking stones. Jesus Christ.
That cat.
The idea that the tiger might just find the kid.
Well, I think that's the intention, is the tiger is going to kill the baby.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, Rourke just taking out his leg and him
sliding
for
face
3
first.
Oh,
seconds.
the face slide. It's such a nice little touch, right?
It's so funny.
You
Just
know, when
getting
you
road
see
rash on your face because you got leg sweep by vascular Mickey Rourke.
You know, when you see the Coliseum like this, and then you think about, they used to have like mock ship battles in this thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're gonna just pump this thing full of water.
That's nuts.
Like some classical era Sea World.
So,
Rourke moves well. I know
He
that
does,
sounds
yeah.
dumb. But
Yeah, he does. He moves like a fighter.
I mean, again, amateur boxer, right? Like he knows how to move his feet.
yep.
Duck and weave. Duck and weave.
Jacques!
Yeah. He pulls his glasses off like he's in an underworld movie.
Yep.
Also, Rodman stepping on a landmine and just stopping dead in his tracks from a full sprint is clutch as hell.
Yeah.
Do you think are those Rodman's actual like contracted basketball shoes he has to wear
Probably.
right there?
Probably.
I would
do
imagine,
like now
yeah.
that JCVD's using Rodman as a
launching point?
Yeah.
As a pommel horse.
Springboard. Arr. They need speed lines here like in anime. Swing,
Yes.
swing. So Rodman conjigures the landmine such that it does not blow him to smithereens.
Everyone's dusted because it is the 90s and it's a fight scene.
Yeah. This
I love dusted action.
yeah. The quick cuts in this fight don't do much for me.
Yeah, this fight does not live up to the hotel fight.
No,
No.
it does not.
So,
Oh, fluffer nutter. Mickey Rourke stepped out of mine.
No, no.
Oh, shit. Fluffernutter, Steve. Watch your mouth. This is a family podcast. Nothing under Van Damme's foot.
Nothing under my Converse.
So Yaz is saying that he's moved a bunch of the mines around. Or rather, he's moved the crosses, I suppose.
Yeah.
The markers.
He's not Ukrainian. He's not a badass. He's moving by with a
He's just
cigarette.
picking up a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah.
And the fucking tiger shows up again. And Yaz is all, I'm out.
Yep.
Yaz and Quinn are outie.
This is a death scene if there ever was one.
Very CG tiger.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
not.
kick-ass way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
If I
quite
get to choose how I die, I go out like Stavros.
like incoming tiger and also a landmine.
Here we finally get to see how
Yeah.
little he is compared to.
Charles Breakdance has the baby.
Yep.
I found this baby. I assumed it was yours.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
Stavros,
boss-ass guitar riff as Mickey Rourke and Tiger explode.
And again,
Blew up
This-
the
And
Coliseum.
this is so great.
this movie does not understand how explosions work.
So many coke
No,
machines.
Why are
let
there
me
coke
tell you,
machines?
It understands
So many
completely
coke
because if there's
machines in
ever
the
a giant
Coliseum.
explosion at, at the Coliseum, you got to find the area where all the coke machines are lined up, and then you stand behind one because the only thing that can protect you from a landmine tiger explosion is a Coca-Cola machine.
What is happening?
The Coliseum has been exploding for like 20 seconds. Just a raging,
yeah.
unyielding fireball in all directions.
Boys, we call it cinema.
This like legit. Is that the most ridiculous explosion we've seen? And they blew up a boat on Deep Rising.
Yep. And that was 130 episodes ago.
Yeah.
The kid might still explode, Quinn. I might keep your distance.
Either that or he's full of nerve gas.
Yeah.
Still has his thumbprint bandage though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice little touch that I
Yeah.
completely forgot about at this point.
Yeah.
I like that Rodman is twice the height of the car.
Yeah.
What a crazy 3 days this movie has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, cinema, making reference to Roman holiday.
Yep.
Yeah, lock of your hair. It tosses piece of your hair. There it is.
I have a thing for menswear.
Yeah.
Just take a finger.
I don't get a lot of fashion at the
Give me a lock of
colony.
your hair. I'm gonna cut it off.
Hand hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Robin flips the lucky coin,
Yep.
which then explodes.
Also explodes.
Ah!
Rodman vanish. Nope. It's Quinn. Quinn's gone.
as the exploded Coliseum is in the background.
Terrible acting. Oh, also, he was letting him go.
Yeah.
The coin thing was completely unnecessary, though cool.
Yeah. It was.
Then this kick-ass 90s house music, outro
Yep.
music. Oh,
The funky beats.
Yeah. Something off of Jock Jams Volume 3.
and then it just ends with Rodman with his "Did I do that?" moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Well, and you know whose song this is, right? This is a Rodman jam.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
well.
Who is Moish?
Oh, Moshe was the one. He was the one of the spies at the island who was supposedly killed in Beirut. So.
It's pronounced Beirut.
Well,
Well.
Yep.
that wraps up Double Team. Let's get into View Again, Brew Again. Steve, you're the guest here, and you know how this works. You drink that beer again, or that wine again. Watch this movie again.
Yeah, I mean, so the wine, am I going to drink it again? Yeah, just because it's cheap. I mean, what am I going to do with my life? This is like, I don't know, it's like $7 and it's basically 3 bottles. It's beautiful. I can open it. I can drink it for about, a month straight and doesn't go bad. So it is a technological marvel. It's fairly delicious. It's very cheap. Is it my favorite wine? Absolutely fucking not. But sometimes it's not about the fancy wine. And much like me drinking boxed wine on this podcast, we have watched a boxed wine action film, okay? And you're goddamn right I'm going to watch this again because it's got a tiger, it's got Mickey Rourke, everything is stupid. I've seen this movie like 5 times, including 3 times in the last 2 years, and I never get tired of it because it's just so goddamn stupid. And there's just enough of a level of elevation here because of the people involved, because of, a director like Tsui Hark who, even when he's completely phoning it in and basically arguing with Jean-Claude Van Damme the entire time and getting the film ripped away from him by producers, he's still able to give us something that's a little bit different from this era of Jean-Claude. So yes, and yes, enthusiastically, Brew and View.
All right. Wow. Okay. I will go next. So I'll go with Brew again first. Yes on both. These are both phenomenal. The cherry funfetti and the key lime pie. I feel like one of the minor trends I've been seeing in beers over the last maybe year and a half has been more of like the pastry or the confection beers, a lot of like pies or cakes or desserty kind of stuff. We've had a couple on here. Usually they're more around like the bigger desserty stouts or barley wines, but moving into the sours, which I think actually works better.
Agreed.
So, the key lime pie one was the most key lime pie beer I've ever had, and I do enjoy me a nice key lime pie. And the cherry funfetti, like that's not a cake I typically would go for, but that beer was very, very tasty. A lot of delicious flavors going on. Sweet but not too sweet, tart but not too tart. View again. This is a hard one for me. I think I like this one more on the second watch. Maybe just because watching it amongst friends, it probably is the best way to view this kind of thing. There definitely is some Hong Kong action style that breaks through at certain parts of the movie, but I'd rather watch a Hong Kong action movie if I want something kind of over the top with this. I will agree with you, Steve, that this does give you something different than what JCVD was doing at this point in the 90s, but I think of all the JCVD movies we've done, this isn't amongst my favorite ones. Like we did Sudden Death and Cyborg, and
classic.
Yeah. So I think there's like this one's got some like definite 90s style. If someone were to ask me like what were the 90s like, I'd be like, watch this movie. This was the 90s. Everything was sponsored by Coke. We could kill kids in amusement parks. And Jean-Claude Van Damme was making MacGyver nonsense in his CIA spook island hotel room. So, it's fine. It's fine. Watch it with friends. But it's 90 minutes, but it feels kind of longer than that.
It does.
Yep.
So, a couple long sequences, but not like I didn't think it was more than 90 minutes until I actually sat down and thought about like where we were in the movie, being like, oh yeah, this still has to happen. So, but it's fine. Go down the couch there.
Down the couch. I will start with Brew again. Also, yes, on the beers, both of them, just fantastic. The key lime pie, super great. It is just drinking a key lime pie. Like all of that character is there. But I like the cherry funfetti cake better, and significantly so. It's just, again, it's really, really astonishing how well the flavors come through that are advertised on that can. Would it have like vanilla wafers on there too?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it's there. It's like you don't really have to search for it. Yeah, super, super fucking good. And these being sours, neither of them is particularly like really sour. Like they're actually kind of subtle on the bite, I guess. There, yeah. So those were excellent. View again. Oh man. So Steve. I watched this movie 3 times in the last 10 days, I think.
Jeez.
That's a little excessive, pal.
No. Twice in the last week, and then the first time because when I was listening to your OpVac, section on Tsui Hark. But yeah, so I watched it twice this week. The first time, which was my second time overall, I was just like, okay, maybe I was too hard on this movie the first time because I really hated it. And I watched it the second time. I was like, nah, I still like this movie. So yeah, this I really wish this movie's stupidity resonated with me. It does not. I think this is fine to maybe put on, like Max said, to put on with buddies in the room who maybe haven't seen it. But like the idea of ever considering to watch this again on my own is absolutely not going to happen. It just doesn't do it for me. A lot of the silliness and absurdity of this movie is much more fun discussing after the fact versus actually sitting down and watching it. But that's just my take on it. So I'm a no on this one, but I'm not going to say a hard no, but I'm a no on this one. And I guess I'll just leave it hang there and then pass.
That's fair enough. Listen, I've already come to terms with the fact that you all have horrible taste, so
it's fine.
I've
make
just
it work,
accepted
Steve.
it.
We make
Yes.
it work.
Yeah.
Brew again. Yes to both. Like Ryan, I like the cherry funfetti cake more. Certainly, I'm the sour, like kind of the sour guy, so I enjoy these. Ferndale Project really understands how to get their lactose balance right with their sours.
Man, they get it right so frequently.
I wish somebody could get my lactose balance right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
that you
bud.
just don't, poop the entire Gen Con away.
Poop in the night away.
Yeah. And to Max's point, I think sours worked better for these big, bold, fruity flavors because you can throw the lactose in there to drop the sourness of it, but you can still hammer these beers with tons and tons
What
of
was the
really,
ABV on
really
these,
stuff.
by the way?
I think
One second, I just looked them up. So,
What's the ABV on your wine, Steve?
probably about 13 or 15.
Not enough. I drank a lot of this. Like, it's pretty light right now.
I'm so happy for you right now.
And I don't feel that buzz. 13% on this bad
Hey, I
boy.
got that right.
Nice.
6.5 on the key lime. And
The cherry
8
will be more. Yeah.
on the cherry.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Movie wise,
That's pretty high. Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah, they put imperial sour on the
cherry?
on the cherry one, which
Yeah.
that,
Ferndale Project has a couple sours that break the 11.5 mark, Steve.
Oh, fuck, they're so fucking good.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, this is Michigan where we drink we know that Wisconsin likes to make beer too, but Wisconsin likes to make lawnmower
Mass
beer.
quantities.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people here are just alcoholics.
Anyway, this movie is a no for me. There are moments in this movie that are a lot of fun, but I will say this. I think this movie may have been a yes for me if we had not just watched The Apple. and I say that because of a movie. That movie is here's our insane, ridiculous theme, and we're just gonna
nosedive
we
into
just
it.
Nosedive. They don't
Just
even lean
swan
into it. They
dive right
just
the fuck into
swan
it.
dive right into it. And I just wanted this movie to be more be sillier.
Yeah, more ridiculous.
More
Antwerp
ridiculous
stuff.
More ridiculous spy stuff. The front part of the movie is too grounded for how ridiculous the middle section of the movie is, and Yaz is absurd at times, but then just becomes a wooden actor at other times. It just is inconsistent throughout the movie, which probably
I don't know,
speaks
James. When
more
you
to-
said no, I actually heard go, as in go watch this movie. So.
I would bet that a lot of the wooden and inconsistencies speaks to the fact that the movie got pulled away from the director and all sorts of studio interference and everything else. But yeah, I just want this movie to be goofier. Is what I want. It can still be great action. It really can, but Hong Kong movies are oftentimes accompanied by some pretty goofy stuff in them.
Yep.
And you appreciate that and you enjoy it. And this feels a little bit too much like this needs to be a serious action movie, and then being no, Dennis Rodman's wearing sequin pants.
Yep.
Tiger Landmine Coliseum
Yes.
Kung Fu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that fight is amazing.
so for example, Hard Boiled, a great John Woo film, a Hong Kong action film, has a shootout in a hospital while Chow Yun-fat is holding a baby through for 5 minutes.
He didn't have a dirt bike though, so I mean,
It did
really,
not, but his character's name is Tequila Yen.
Yeah, give me more of that. I want more of that.
Yeah, so
So, are y'all done, buddy? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm all done.
He's all done ranting about.
I'm done,
Double
so.
T. If I may, Steven.
Yes.
So, if this Tsui Hark joint doesn't do it for our listeners, what other movies would you recommend?
Yeah, that's a really great question. If you are interested in Tsui Hark, well, one, if you watch this movie, you're probably going to be like, wow, this is a director to watch. His American work is not his finest work. Let's just say that. So if you look at the batch of Hong Kong filmmakers around this time, so, your John Woos, Tsui Hark, guys like Johnny To, what they were doing over in China, varying degrees of success when they make the jump to the U.S. So John Woo had a pretty successful string of Hollywood action blockbusters. Then you kind of get into Tsui Hark, which is the middle ground where He was able to do a couple of movies here with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Both of them he seemed to struggle with. He did not have a good time shooting films in America. I don't think people enjoyed working with him. He didn't enjoy working with people over here. It just did not work. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got Johnny To, who was just like, fuck this. I am never making an American film. I'm just going to do my brilliant Hong Kong shit. You guys can figure it out later. So Tsui Hark, though, and you wouldn't know it from watching this.
Nope.
He is a completely peerless filmmaker in the West. There is no one in the West that can match what he has done. To give you an idea of his career, he started off as an extremely transgressive filmmaker, was kind of an important figure in this late 70s, early 80s Hong Kong New Wave. And again, like, you probably don't want to start there because it's a little intense, not exactly the most accessible stuff, but if you want to see what some of that looks like and just how transgressive it is. So think about where China is now, where China was in the 1980s. Think about Hong Kong in this period. And then you watch the movie Dangerous Encounters of the First Kind. It is balls out transgressive, and that's why it's very difficult to find a decent copy of it. But if you scrape the bowels of the internet or just hit me up, I'll give you a copy.
Yeah.
You can find a copy. He has done everything from just, like big Spielbergian dramas and populist films to wuxia style action films to crime thrillers, everything and anything. And he is the best at doing it. And if you look across his career, the guy has made, I don't even know, probably 50 movies. And of those 50 movies, there are a dozen where I'd be like, that's a stone cold masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So you ready? You got your pen and paper. You want a crazy, over the top, just fantasy Asian epic. Zoo Warriors from Magic Mountain. Watch that shit. You want the aforementioned, like, transgressive, hyper-violent, hyper-political thriller, Dangerous Encounters of the First Kind. Peking Opera Blues, brilliant. Shanghai Blues, brilliant. Both just incredible, like, period pieces, completely peerless. He's got a trilogy of movies called Once Upon a Time in China, 1, 2, and 3. Amazing.
Just hit Criterion.
I think
films.
they're doing a box set.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Criterion just put out a box set, which is rad because those were kind of hard to find Region 1 DVDs of. And then beyond that, if you go his post-American stint, so he did Double Team in 98, or no, he did Double Team in 97, he did Knockoff in 98, went back to China. He did a great little thriller called Time and Tide. Highly recommend that one. And then lately, starting in like the 2010s until present day, he's been doing a lot of really like kind of flashy, big budget films. And so this would be the equivalent of what if a guy in Hong Kong was tasked with doing the equivalent to a Marvel movie. So he's got this series called the Detective D series. So there's The Mystery of the Phantom Flame. There's Young Detective D, and then there's one called The Four Heavenly Kings. Super, super, super fun. Really inventive, visually interesting, kind of cheap. But if you want like a good alternative to the bog standard action that you're getting served up by Marvel and Disney, this is kind of the same vibe, but a different kind of Eastern take on it. So again, the guy's brilliant. Like, imagine if Steven Spielberg did everything, and every year he put out another movie that could be like considered just completely brilliant, and that's what you have with Tsui Hark.
Yeah.
I actually have something
watch his fucking movies; they're fantastic.
Something to add,
Yes.
for him, his role as a producer. There's the movie A Chinese Ghost Story, which is sort of a wuxia martial arts comedy horror, like Chinese Evil Dead. So
I'd be into that.
Yeah. There's 3 films in the series. The first 2 are on Amazon Prime. They're quick, 90-minute stuff. They got some great practical stuff. some nice wire work. Some of the stuff, the budget cannot meet what the movie's trying to do, but they're fun movies to watch if you kind of want something along those lines. So
I need to explain a little bit of the roller coaster that Steve and his Optimism Vaccine buddies put me on. So I listened to your series, the Tsui Hark series, and the first Tsui Hark flick that I saw, the first one, was Time and Tide. So I was like, oh man, sweet. And then I forget when, but it was mentioned about Double Team somewhere in that series. Like, fuck, I just always assumed that movie was going to be, trash. But, after Time and Tide, I can't wait to watch this fucking movie. And and then I sat down and watched.
A little different.
Yeah.
Monkey's paw, finger curls.
Yeah. Double Team. So I was all over the damn place, Steve. What did you do to me? I'm a wreck. What'd you do?
Have you had a chance to watch any of his other movies yet?
No, it's just been the two so far. I'll coordinate
I would
with
say,
you.
like the Once Upon a Time in China and Peking Opera Blues, if you watch those two, just unbelievable. And then I think you boys would really enjoy Zoo Warriors. Just make sure you watch the one from the 80s and not his remake of his own movie that he did in the 2000s, unless you're like, damn, I want to see the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life.
I'll take the OG.
All right. So we got a number of films to watch. And, what Hong Kong directors do you guys at home like watching, or movies we haven't talked about that you think we should check out? Let us know. Good Brews, Bad Views is available on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at GBBV Podcast. Send us our hate mail at goodbrewsbadviews@gmail.com. If not already, please leave us a rating and subscription on whatever podcasting streaming service or podcatcher of whatever choice that you use. Helps people find us through the magic of the algorithm. If you like what we're doing here at Good Brews, Bad Views and want to support our ridiculous podcast ventures, consider supporting our Patreon at www.patreon.com/goodbrewsbadviews, where you get access to our monthly poll, where you get to vote on one of our episodes each month, as well as access to Max's Musings, my monthly column where I'm talking about the weird stuff I'm watching, reading, or being involved with each month. Steve, thank you for taking time on your evening to come hang out with us.
Always a joy, guys. I mean, you're like, oh, Steve, you want to do the show? It's like, yeah, twist my arm. I got to drink and watch a movie. Like, I'm not going to do that anyway.
It's
Come
a
on.
very Steve activity.
What are you talking to here? Thanks for having me on. Also, if you're listening to this, check out Optimism Vaccine while you're at it. That's the podcast I do. It's different than this one, but if you like this one, you'll like the one I do too, I bet.
Yeah. We'll have links to that in the description for this. Steve, you've been on so many times I can just copy and paste that metadata from one episode to the other.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yep. All right. Thanks again for everyone listening and tuning in. And as always, please watch
and drink.
Jean responsibly.
Oh my God. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.